Welcome back to the Midnight Who Show! And tonight I'm going to be reviewing the third episode of the brand new season of Doctor Who, The Well. This story finds the Doctor and Belinda arriving on a dead planet with a space crew, but they soon find absolute terror. Now, this story is a sequel, and to talk about it, I will have to mention a few spoilers, so if you have not seen this episode or heard the online chatter, definitely probably skip this review, but if you do not care about being ruined by the big reveal, keep watching, because this episode is set on the planet Midnight, 400,000 years after the 10th Doctor arrived and dealt with this creature. And we can definitely see how it has evolved quite a bit. Now, when I did hear on online, social media that this would have been a sequel, that this could be a sequel to Midnight, I was a little bit scared, mostly because I really do enjoy the story Midnight. I think it's a great story, which I definitely need to review in the future, but I also thought it was going to ruin that episode. They were going to reveal too much about the Midnight entity and just kind of hamper that, really, bring that story down a bit. But I gotta say, they didn't ruin anything. This is a great sequel. It is just as creepy, such eerie, and I really did enjoy that. It still explored that kind of human paranoia that results with the unknown, that they all can't see it, and they slowly start going a bit on the mad side. And we, of course, arrive after another set of individuals have already dealt with this Midnight entity as it goes from people to people, and it just results in all of them ending their own life or going against each other, and now there's a full survivor, Alice. And I really did felt that was very clever to have this character who cannot hear. That is so brilliant because the Midnight entity thrives on that. You can't hear them. They're whispering behind you, and they don't drive you mad with that. But for this character, it must be absolute terror, though, to not absolutely understand what is going on. But I also really enjoyed how the Doctor immediately started signing. That was great. But I also really enjoyed how they actually show how future people out there kind of evolve technology and that communicator. That was great. But yeah, this was an absolute blast of an episode. I was on the edge of my seat. I really enjoyed watching it, and I gotta tell you, I really did enjoy watching this episode at midnight. It's, with no lights on, edge of your seat, classic scary Doctor Who. That's when it thrives sometimes, and I think this is going to be an instant classic. But that's not means that it's perfect. I will say the worst part of the story for me, I felt, was the ending part. I felt it was very starting to get rushed, like, we have to get this episode over with. And I think that kind of brought the story down a bit. And if they added a few extra minutes, I think it would have really helped make this more cohesive story. But I really did enjoy all of this characters, and you really start to see how they're starting to get kind of turn on each other as the Midnight entity kind of gets closer and closer to them seeing it. And it's a very clever idea, of course, to have it where it's the clock face. So it's always facing midnight behind you. Great idea. And I really am glad that they did not reveal the full entity. You see little glimpses of it, very brief, and I'm really glad about that. But yeah, The Well is a classic Doctor Who story that I cannot wait to rewatch. But I also think it's a really cool thing to have, like, the Doctor arrive on a planet they were already at all these years ago, thinking that this entity was stopped. But the Midnight entity lives on, and even after this episode, I do wonder if there's going to be another sequel. So what did you all think of The Well? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.